Hi, and thank you for joining us today on the Road to Recovery. I'm Ronda Jackson, your host, serial entrepreneur, and small business advocate. And the road to recovery has been a long one, and we've reached a few milestones. And today's milestone and exit is with Miss JuliAnn Stitick of Recalibrated Living. Welcome, JuliAnn. Nice to have you here today.
I'm excited to be here with you, Rhonda.
Oh, thank you. I just thought it was so appropriate. You and I have some shared connections, and the introduction was just monumental, just in our brief knowing each other. Will you tell us a little bit about Recalibrated Living before we get started?
Yeah, I would love to. First of all, I just want to say thank you for having me. And as you said, I run a company called Recalibrated Living. We provide high performance coaching and motivational presentations for leaders and teams. And I work with people who are successful in one aspect of their life at the expense of the other areas of their life. And so we bring about success in all aspects of life so that people can really live a full and balanced, happy life.
I'm so glad that you used the word balance, because that's something that all of us have been probably struggling with, especially over the past 60 to 90 days. Speaking of the past 60 to 90 days, what one word would you use to describe, where we are as leaders, as, business owners, as wives and husbands in our families? What one word would you use?
I would look at it as it's possibilities.
Okay.
And so I think that so many people are looking at this time as such a negative thing, but there are so many good things coming out of this, and the possibilities of this opportunity for us to create change in our lives that can then carry forward is where it's all at. So it's all about those possibilities.
I like that. So to create change and based on, your expertise in what you do, how would you set an entrepreneur or a leader of an organization off in the direction to create change in their lives?
Wow. Well, I'll tell you what it is that I see right now is that at this moment in time, we have so much opportunity to start looking at all the aspects of our life and sit back and do like an assessment.
Okay.
Where am I? Am I where I want to be? And here's one of the most important questions. Am I doing what I want to be doing moving forward? So it's a question that so many people are asking because their professions are changing, things are changing. But when we talk about possibilities and how can we get business owners to the next level for themselves, right now, what we're going through is literally a once in a lifetime opportunity for us to start creating success habits or instilling success habits that are going to carry forward. And what I mean by now being this unique opportunity is that we have two. I just give you a little bit of context.
Okay.
We have our conscious brain and we have our subconscious brain. Our conscious brain is 20%. Our subconscious brain is 80%. Our conscious brain is our willpower. Our conscious brain is who says, I'm going to go on a diet or I'm going to start exercising on a daily basis. It's also the most fickle part of our brain because it gets bored easy, right? And so we make a decision, but if that conscious brain is not being pumped with serotonin and dopamine and norepinephrine on a regular basis, it gets bored. And then that's why so many people start success habits and then they quit them. Our subconscious brain is our autopilot. Our subconscious brain is who kind of rules the roost for us. And when I say once in a lifetime opportunity, I want to explain just a little bit about how that works. In hypnosis, one of the things that happens is that there's a moment in time when the subject who's being hypnotized goes through a state of a little bit of confusion. Mm-hmm. And in that is an opportunity to start speaking to the subconscious brain and instill these aspects into the subconscious brain. Well, we all know that the rug's been pulled out from under us and everything is in some way, shape, or form in a state of confusion, which gives us opportunity and possibility to start implementing success habits that are going to stick.
Okay.
And so for me, I'm almost have been a little bit militant with myself and really rigid on the things that I want to be doing moving forward.
Yes.
Versus what I'm hearing so many people say, I've gained weight, I'm just sitting around, we're cooking a lot, we're baking a lot. I've been baking, I just don't eat all of it.
Right.
But the idea here is that we have this opportunity to start doing things to care for ourselves in a new way.
Okay. So then I like that because so far we have balance and self-care. So today's kind of more of a healing session, right? This is how we're going to walk into the new normal that some of us have already entered in. So depending on what state you're in, return to work started on Monday, or it's coming up this coming Monday. So to be able to implement some of those things for that, to transition out of the point that we've been in would be really, really helpful. I think in reading some on your website, it mentioned that there's 7 things that you find key to do before 7 a.m.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
So I say it's like 7 things to do before 7 a.m. or 8 or 9, like depending on like what your sleep pattern is. Like some people I say that to and they go, oh my gosh.
Yes.
But the idea is these success habits. I do them every day religiously. And they care for me and set the tone for my day so that I am cared for mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, so that I can really be serving in the best possible way. One of my colleagues talks about you have to fill up your teacup first, and whatever overflows from that teacup into the saucer is where you serve from. So when we fill up our teacup with these 7 tips, then we can serve from the overflow, and we're doing it in the most high performance way.
I like that. I know a lot of women that have shared responsibilities, family as well as running their businesses. So I think this is that self-care and those deposits that they would need to do to not feel in lack at the end of the day, right? So I think that's where some of the strain on a lot of the relationships come on. Let's get into maybe the first tip. Do you mind?
Oh, sure. Well, they're pretty quick to run through them. So I'm just going to kind of run through them the way that in the order that I do them.
Yes.
And keep in mind, I just want to say this. Some people may hear this and they may go, there's no way I'm going to be able to get that all done. Look, take what you can and plug it in. It's not an all or nothing thing. If you can even just do one change,
Yes.
it's giving you a road to feeling successful. Some people think if I don't do all the 7 things, I'm not perfect, I didn't do it right. Well, look, if there's one little incremental step that happens, you're a success.
Right. And that's a little bit more in your cup, using your other example.
Yes, ma'am, exactly. And I love the way you put it, deposits, So the first thing I do, I get up in the morning, I make my bed, right? It's such a sense of accomplishment. You've started the day, it was super simple, it's really nice. And then one of the things that I like to do, my husband and I do this, we make the bed, but then we do turn down service for ourselves so that when we get home, we're home at the end of the day, it's like we're staying at this really nice hotel. So that's number 1. Number 2 is I drink 16 ounces of water. I just down it. Okay. And I'll add lemon to it. Whatever it is that cleanses the body. So a citrus is really good, lemon or grapefruit. I use essential oils, just drop them right into the water.
Lovely.
So the first is make the bed. Second is the hydrate. Third is what I call recalibrate for the day, or calibrate for the day. And calibrating for the day is whatever your blend of prayer, meditation, journaling, gratitude, whatever that looks like, that is an intention to get your mind focused on what it is that you want. So many people get up, the first thing to do is check their cell phone, right? And here's the thing, what I like to say is try to get all of these 7 things done before you get onto technology. Because the minute you get onto technology, your mind is going like, right? And then the other piece of the puzzle is don't watch the news, don't read the news. in the morning, you know, I don't ever, like, I literally, my husband filters and tells me what it is that he knows that I would want to know. But you turn on the news in the morning, first thing, you're just filling your mind with a bunch of stress that is going to set you off. So it's almost like creating this bubble for yourself first thing in the morning so that the rest of the day you're, you know, kind of armed.
Well, I like that you actually brought in, you know, some people do prayer, some people do affirmations. Do you have an example of a small prayer or an affirmation that, you know, if someone were looking, starting from a blank slate, they could incorporate?
Sure, absolutely. So the serenity prayer is great, which is grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the outside world,
Yes.
the courage to change the things I can,
Yes.
my self-care, right? And the wisdom to know the difference.
Wisdom to know the difference.
Right. So that's one. And I'll tell you, honey, I say that many times during the day because, you know, every once in a while I'm like, wait, I don't have control over this. Don't get upset about it. You know, just step back into what you do have control over.
Okay. So, but I also like it, like what you're saying. So there are points in the day that some of these 7 things can be incorporated as a reset as well.
Yes.
Okay. I understand. Okay. So we've hydrated, we've
Right.
said prayer, we've made the bed.
Right. So great. So the next is nutrition.
Okay.
You know, eating that healthy breakfast. We've all been told our whole life that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and it is. And the reason it is because what we eat in the morning sets the tone for our body for what it wants for the balance of the day. So we get up and we eat, we have a cup of coffee with a bunch of sugar and a sweet roll. That's what our body wants for the rest of the day is sugar. So I am big on protein shakes. I put all kinds of good stuff. I consider that as fuel for my body. I don't even consider it food. I consider it fueling my body so that I'm highly nutritionized for you know, for that part of the day
Well, you
moving
charge
forward.
because it sounds like you're giving your body like the things that it's needing to, you know, maintain composure through the day, deal with the stresses that do come your way. But, you know, you're doing that from a balance. I have a habit of not eating breakfast. So my morning is usually filled with hangry,
Uh-oh.
where I'm hungry and I'm trying to, you know, not be as reactive, but I don't agree that my body has everything that it needs to keep me at that level playing field.
Right.
So that's
Right.
a really good tip. And some of this, I'm sure that our viewers may already know or have heard, but to see them in order and utilized together, I'm sure is very complimentary and beneficial as well. Yes.
I would agree with you. I know it works for me and I know it works for a lot of my clients.
Okay.
So nutrition. The next thing is movement. So whatever that looks like for you, it could be jumping jacks, push-ups, taking a walk, doing yoga, Pilates, lifting weights, but getting, you know, our bodies need that warm up. So you think about like a diesel engine, you know, it needs that warm up in order for it to be at maximum for the rest of the day. Now, whether that's your like key workout for the day, it could be or not. But stretching, just getting things moving. And I know for me, the older I get, like sometimes I wake up, I feel like the Tin Man that needs the oil can, and, you know, my joints and stuff. And so what I've learned is that when I get that body going and the stretching and the moving going, then I feel better. And it, you know, that is really gets the mind focused. It gets those endorphins going. And to tie into that, the next tip is music. So music is part of every morning for me. And so, you know, some days it could be Michael Bublé, some days it's R&B, some days it's country. You know, it's like whatever I'm feeling like. But getting that music going, and to tie those two things together, I will put my earbuds in, and part of my movement is that I will put on a song that is something that I would want to dance to, and I dance to an entire song.
Oh, there you go.
Dancing makes you smarter. It gives you more focus. You're more productive for the day. And I could share all kinds of stats around that. But so plugging that movement and that music in together are really key.
Okay, I love that. That's
Yes.
really, really wonderful.
Yes.
And honestly, all of those things are doable. Like I don't
They,
see like a song is 3 minutes to make, a little quick shake is 5 minutes. So I don't even think I've used up my morning hour just doing the things that you've recommended. So that,
right.
yeah,
Right.
that's good.
So, and then our final one is to steal from a 1970s commercial, shower, shampoo, and shine.
Okay.
And it's image. It's all about pulling yourself together image wise. Now, these days for most of us, it's waist up wardrobe. But it's really easy to put that kind of at the bottom of your priority list. You're trying to take care of all these different things and you've got all these different responsibilities. But when we pull ourselves together and we take those actions, we are more confident, we are more successful in our business. Our energy changes. They've actually done studies that when people really pull themselves together, they have more success with their sales. Their tone of voice is different. They just feel better because the part of whatever that looks like. Some people don't do makeup, but I like to say like hair, wardrobe, makeup, of just like pulling yourself together, because every day is a special occasion if we decide to make it that way. And especially right now with all of the shifts and changes, pulling ourselves together is important,
Mhm.
right? We've all been pulled away from our hairdressers and our, all of the stuff that we do on a regular basis, right? But there's a lot that we can also be doing for ourselves during this time. So shower, shampoo, and shine is the last one.
And I think it also lends itself to the self-care. So you're making yourself the priority, you filled up your teacup, you've, made you important for the day. And then
Yes,
now you can be of service, to all your customers and your family. I think that makes
right,
perfect sense.
right.
So do you think that there is a most actionable thing that you would recommend for business or people in general, leaders of an organization or family to do as a priority? And maybe one of the seven, or is there something else that you would say they've turned off this video, they loved all of your advice, JuliAnn? What one thing would you tell them to go home and start doing now?
Right. So the one thing is the thing that has connected with them. The thing that they heard today where they went, "Ooh, I should probably, take some action on that." So let's say one of the areas that I am constantly working on, let's put it that way,
Yes.
is getting enough water in my diet. Okay. And so for me, it might be like, oh, you know what? That's a good reminder that I need to drink more water. So the action that I would suggest that person take is turn off the video when it's over and go drink 8 ounces of water.
I love that.
It's as
I'm
simple
doing
as that.
that right now.
Right.
I
Right. Or it's, oh, I can't do a whole workout. I know I need to, but get on the floor and do 10 push-ups.
right then and there.
People make everything such a big commitment, and what happens is then they don't feel successful because it's overwhelming. And the idea here is incremental change, little things that they can do to continue to feel successful. Like that 8 ounces of water is a success.
Yeah.
Those 10 push-ups are a success. And when we build on success after success, we feel better about ourselves. It increases our confidence. And then we get into momentum and we're like, I want more.
Yeah.
I like the way this feels.
What else can I do? I love that. So then we're feeding ourselves the positivity. We're creating habits that are conducive to us as leaders that actually people can see on the outside. So like putting the self-care into pulling yourself together for a day, whether with or without video, right? Zoom call or not. We're doing that as a daily habit. Thank you so much, JuliAnn, for doing that.
Well,
If someone is interested in more tips or more information or connecting with you direct, do you mind sharing your website? We'll also share it in the information box.
absolutely. Well, I do actually have something to give everyone. I wrote a book called Step Into Your Power, and it's a step-by-step strategy guide for maximum results at conferences, events, or networking opportunities, written before all of this went on, but it's relevant to virtual as well. And it's more of these checklists, timelines, systems that I have utilized to improve my confidence, to be more well spoken about my business, to present myself. So they can get that at www.getyourpowerbook.com, and they can get a free copy download of the book.
Oh, that is amazing. Thank you for that gift. That is
You're welcome.
beautiful.
You're welcome. And then if they want to, connect with me, they can go to my website at recalibratedliving.com, and there is a contact page. And I love working with leaders who want to fine tune their life and have what it is that they want.
I like that. So you can add everyone that's watching this video as a leader that wants possibility
Yes,
and wants
ma'am.
to tap into that possibility. So I thank you for being our guest today. Thank you very much, JuliAnn.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.